When our Justice Council was just developing the logo for the work that we're doing as the BC First Nations Justice Council, the thing that kept re-emerging is that salmon, where you have those 3 salmon, which represent the past, the present, and the future. We want to hold on to those teachings of the past. Those are traditional laws. And then when you think about the present, that salmon is facing a lot of challenges. And we as Indigenous people have faced those challenges with colonization, having all these foreign laws imposed on us. And that's what the future is. That salmon is for us to do the work that we need to be able to have our own laws in legislation, have it recognized, have our own road to self-determination, to have self-government, to be able to empower and enrich our people.
The BC First Nations Justice Council is an organization that is not just reforming the current justice system, but is working to restore traditional laws, traditional structures, and traditional ways of healing. The Council's mandate is to address the crisis of overrepresentation of Indigenous people in the criminal justice system and Indigenous children in care. In 2020, the Justice Strategy was endorsed by BC First Nations and signed by the province of British Columbia. It contains 25 individual strategies and 43 lines of action that call for changes in corrections, policing, land use services, legal aid, and community-level support. The strategy calls for the creation of culturally appropriate Indigenous justice centers throughout the province and the systematic integration of elder and knowledge keeper guidance in every domain. Today, the organization has a staff complement of 80 people working hard to implement the Justice Strategy.
The BC First Nations Justice Strategy is a holistic strategy. It addresses all of the issues and all of the challenges that we find in the criminal justice system. It's about making sure that all of the systems of the criminal justice system are challenged to ensure that they best reflect, best support the needs of Indigenous people. The BC First Nations Justice Strategy has 2 tracks, and track 1 is redoing and challenging and making systemic change in the current criminal justice system. We know that's not working for us and for Indigenous people, so how do we change that system to ensure that we reflect and minimize the number of Indigenous people that are overrepresented? Track 2 is about revitalizing, and it's kind of the sovereignty approach and the self-government approach is ensuring that we rebuild and reignite Indigenous traditional systems of justice and move and take our values and our knowledge and have that support new ways of doing things to ensure that Indigenous people are no longer at the negative end of any socioeconomic indicator.
You know, as First Nations, we need to be the leaders. We need to be the ones to be bold and go to the RCMP and go to those judges, Crown Council, and say, this is not right. This is not working. This is how we think you can change it, and we're willing to help.
It's really important for us as First Nations, Aboriginal people, to always have these ancestral laws, our Indigenous laws, our customs, our traditions, our protocols recognized.
Ultimately, what I hope down the road is that this systemic challenges that Indigenous people face and the socioeconomic indicators that we face, we're no longer at the negative end, but we're at the positive end, and we have healthy, functioning Indigenous people that are self-determining and able to follow their dreams.
And so, you know, I mean, this is a beginning. It's the start of changing things within British Columbia. And when you've got the government saying, okay, we're with you, we know this needs to change, and it's going to take some time to rebuild that relationship, you know, we're well on our way down the path with a lot of dedicated board members and staff to get us through this.
The salmon, they don't give up. They have that resilience. They have that strength. They have that homing device that we as First Nations, we always want to be at our home. This is where we belong.